Hello, we're back.
We are back in the groove with Yuki and John. Yuki. This is a podcast buffet.
Oh.
So far we've been putting out Yuki and John's podcast buffet for the general public. You know, and we're pre-recording these, so we don't know what anybody thinks about it. They could say it's the worst thing since Will Smith slapping Chris Rock. We don't know. We don't know what the hell's happening.
Yeah.
But we do know we're going to keep doing it even if people don't like it. Because what we do on these days where we record, Yuki and I get together with Liz Shack, our producer, and we have lunch.
Yes.
We bullshit.
We drink
coffee.
Yes.
We then record a bunch of stuff, have some fun conversations.
Yes.
And it's just a really pleasant day. Once or twice a month, maybe 3 times we get together, and it's just really cool.
Cool, yeah.
You like doing it?
Yeah.
And then every once in a while, you know, you get a couple of bucks from the Patreon, you know?
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good, yeah.
And we can't thank our patrons enough. Yuki and John's Patreon buffet. I mean, some of these people have stuck with us since the first month.
Yeah.
Well, we launched on Halloween, and then we've been doing it in November, December, January, February, now March. This may even be April or May. We don't know when this is going to come out. But it's amazing that people have stuck with us that long, and we have so many exclusive shows. We have The Universe and Human Stupidity.
Right.
We have Yuki Reacts.
Right.
That's self-explanatory. You just react to things.
Yeah, react to things.
Yeah. Then we also have our Yuki Hungry Tonight.
Right,
where I cook for you.
Show. Yeah.
So many things we do. And then, you know, we even share other things like sometimes we put up public domain movies on a Saturday night. Sometimes we put up, John Brennan does Trauma, and I put up all the Trauma movies and videos that I worked on. Not the movies. Well, a couple of movies, but not like the movies, but, you know, like web series and short films and all sorts of, So it's just a buffet of...
All you can eat.
All you can eat content.
Yes.
And we're still waiting because, so we have 4 different tiers. We have snacks, which is, you could just get the audio.
Right.
Then we have all you can eat with hibachi, which is all you can eat is the second tier, which is video and podcast.
Okay.
Then all you can eat with hibachi, which then comes with all the Trauma stuff, and then some additional material like archival stuff.
Right.
And then we have the largest tier, which is Sterno, and that's $28,000 a month. And guess what? Nobody's taking that one.
Oh, okay. Hope some rich people then.
Right, you know, come on. There's so many billionaires and millionaires out there. You guys could throw $28,000 our way. And here's a promise. If you give $28,000 to us on the Patreon buffet, we'll donate 10% of it to any single charity.
Okay.
How about, what charity do we like? St. Jude's? You don't like children with cancer?
No, I think that's good. Yeah,
okay.
As long as it's not the Red Cross.
Okay, no Red Cross. Yuki doesn't like them for some reason. Why?
Well, I had... they cheat, you know.
They cheat?
Yeah,
okay.
because, you know, we donate the money.
Yeah.
And then many money just disappear. You know, we don't know what the money goes.
Yeah, that's no good.
Yeah, so...
But we know that the St. Jude's Children's Hospital, it goes towards... poor kids with cancer and the families to help them get through the harsh times. And, you know, that's, to me, one of the worst things in the world that can happen is a poor kid.
Because sometimes you really don't know where money goes. Like, even Red Cross, you know, people are standing, collecting the money at the station. I don't mean I don't trust them, but... How do I know if they steal the money, person collecting the money, right?
That's true. You don't know anything.
Yeah, I don't know anything, so...
You don't know... Look, you know the comedian Dane Cook?
Yeah.
His freaking brother stole millions of dollars from him over the course of the year to the point where he had almost $0.
From own brother?
His own brother. He was his manager and financial advisor or whatever.
See, if you can trust your own related brother... How can we trust strangers?
We can't.
Right?
I can't even trust my own family members. There's fucking extended family members that I have. The dogs. They're the dregs of the earth. And so I'm not going to trust a stranger.
Yeah.
But when it comes to St. Jude's, I
I can trust, right?
I think so. Because there's a special place in hell for somebody who's stealing from the St. Jude's Children's Hospital, and I really believe that after this worthless life is over, they're gonna burn in hell.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, so that's a long way to say, please support us at the Patreon buffet. But we're going to keep putting out this podcast buffet because it's a lot of fun, and we get to do general topics that we may not get to cover on the other shows that we do that are exclusive to the Patreon.
Right.
So today, Yuki, we're talking about something that's near and dear to our hearts because we're both movie nuts.
Yes.
Right? And we did one episode that was a general about movies. Another episode that was about Samuel Fuller, one of our favorite filmmakers, right?
Yes.
And, we just want to do an overview of the Universal Monster Classics, right? You love it.
I was in Japan, I was a kid. I saw these movies on TV called, I don't know if you remember, the title was Shock.
Shock. Okay, so you
know Shock.
I know Shock because this was a revolution in television. Because Shock Theater, right? I have it open. It's the Wikipedia page, so it might be wrong, but I know that this is generally true, is that Shock Theater, and I'll read from it, marketed as Shock with an exclamation point, is a package of 52 pre-1948 classic horror films from Universal Studios, released for television syndication in October 1957 by Screen Gems. And the Shock Theater package, the first one, included Dracula, Frankenstein, The Mummy, The Invisible Man, The Wolfman, and a few non-horror spy and mystery films. So that's 52 of those. And then a second package was released, Son of Shock, in 1958, with 20 more horror movies that were from both Universal and Columbia Pictures.
Wow.
So in television before this, they would put out movies and stuff.
Right.
But this was a revolution because all of a sudden, these movies that you can only see in the theater were being played on Saturdays, Fridays.
Right.
And you got to see this glorious stuff at home.
Yeah, that's what I was watching Saturday night.
Yeah.
So I begged my parents, can I stay up late?
Yeah.
Because the showing ended very late.
And a lot of the fans of the Universal monster movies and the Shock Theater and the Son of Shock Theater, they call themselves monster kids.
Oh.
Do you consider yourself a monster kid?
I grew up like Frankenstein, Dracula, Wolfman, and then...
That's so awesome. I really feel strongly that I have sort of a kinship with the monster kids. And a lot of people my age do because we sort of lived through a second renaissance of monster movies with Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, Pinhead, Chucky. These were the new generation of monsters that hasn't really been repeated since. So there was like the Universal, then you had like the atomic monsters of the 50s and 60s, and then all of a sudden you have this like 80s resurgence of monsters.
I wasn't crazy about the 80s, those new... I was already grown up. Like, I seen Freddy 1, but I didn't.
All of them? Look, some of them are good, some of them are bad, some of them are so bad they're good. Like, they're not like the classic Universal monster movies. Only a few of them reach the heights. The original Halloween, I believe, is a masterpiece.
Right, like Michael Myers.
Michael Myers.
Jason, Friday the 13th.
Yeah, say what you will about... horror and the slashers in the 80s, but Halloween changed the face of the earth much like Shock Theater changed television. The original Halloween changed everything because how many countless rip-offs and homages and the whole slasher thing was born.
John Carpenter,
a genius. So that's just as influential, and I think that one reached the heights of the Universal monster movies. I feel like the first Nightmare on Elm Street is pretty incredible. As far as like saying something that's really terrifying. I mean, you can't go to sleep without a...
But then, towards the end, like, the Freddy versus...
Jason. I mean, look, part 6, he's the Wicked Witch of the West. They jumped the goddamn shark on that one. It's so stupid.
Maybe Jason goes to Manhattan, but when Jason goes to the space, come on, give me a break.
Well, Jason goes to Manhattan for 10 minutes in the movie. He's on a boat most of the time. It's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
They didn't give people what they wanted. I heard the original script had like a whole sequence where he went through Madison Square Garden and killed people. That would have been fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I think they should do Jason Kills the Lakers. That's the next sequel they should do. Where he goes to fucking LA and he kills the NBA players and the Lakers goes. Because I heard
Staples Center.
I heard LeBron James was interested in producing one. And
Really?
the only thing that he should do is Jason Kills the Lakers.
Yeah.
It would be amazing. So, all right, let's start from the beginning with this sort of stuff and talk about some of our favorites. Because there's so many. I still haven't even I have in my hand here a Blu-ray box set that Liz Shack got me, our producer. It's one of the greatest gifts I've ever been given. And I'm still not all the way through all 30 classics. There's 30 on here.
30 movies?
30 movies on here. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Blu-rays and plus 48-page collectible booklet. Woo!
We also just lost someone. The last Universal monster.
Oh, yeah. So recently we lost... sadly, the creature from the Black Lagoon, the actor who played the creature from the Black, he passed away. It's very sad.
The creature isn't here?
It's in here, yeah. Here, so I can read all the titles that are on here. Obviously, Dracula.
Yes.
That's the first one.
Who's Dracula?
Bela Lugosi.
Oh, not the Christopher Lee?
That's Hammer.
Oh.
So that's another sort of great time in monster history is when the Hammer came out in the 50s and 60s and 70s. That Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing. Yeah. But this was Bela Lugosi. Okay. Then you have Frankenstein, which is Boris Karloff. One of my favorite actors. Then you have, of course, The Mummy again. The Invisible Man.
Right.
Claude Rains. The Bride of Frankenstein. Oh. Then there's a very underrated one, Werewolf of London. This predates The Wolfman, and it's a very cool werewolf movie.
I still remember my favorite was Wolfman versus Frankenstein.
Wolfman versus Frankenstein. So that's when they started to do the team up movie. That's very cool. But you know what's an interesting thing about that one? Bela Lugosi plays Frankenstein's monster in that.
Oh, really?
Yes. Lon Chaney Jr. plays Wolfman. Yeah. Originally, they were going to try and have Lon Chaney Jr. play both. Oh. Didn't work out. Bela Lugosi got the role, but he was supposed to speak. And they cut out all of his dialogue. So when you watch the movie, some of it doesn't make sense because the monster's like, and then...
Right, that Frankenstein doesn't really talk, right?
Well, in the one before that, which is Son of Frankenstein, or was it Son of Frankenstein or the Ghost of Frankenstein? Yeah, so the Ghost of Frankenstein, that one ends with, what's his name? Igor? The henchman? Igor? I think it's Igor. Bela Lugosi plays that. Oh. They take the brain from Igor and put it into the monster. So at the end of he was supposed to be smart, which would have been awesome. I think. No? You're not into that. I love all of these monster movies because to me it's like another universe. It's so out of our time.
Right.
It's in most of them are actually all these are in black and white, and they feel like they're from another universe to me, and that's what makes them more spooky is like the photography and the beautiful chiaroscuro is what they call it with the lights and the shadow and the black and white. Right?
It's like a noir almost like.
There's definitely noir elements in these. I mean, like the Invisible Man is like a noir villain. He's like, he's like laughing and running. What are your favorites?
Frankenstein.
That's one of the greatest movies ever made.
Creature from Black Lagoon.
Creature from Black Lagoon.
Everybody remade, but Creature from Black Lagoon.
Well, I heard some people were trying, like Guillermo del Toro, and then he went and made The Shape of Water, which is basically it's the same thing.
Yeah, that's a remake of Splash.
It's reverse Splash.
Yeah, reverse Splash, so I wasn't really crazy about that movie.
Would you make love to a fish person?
No, I eat the fish, so...
That means that you would do it. I would make love to a fish person. moving on. So let's see. What's another? Oh, so Son of Frankenstein is a really interesting one because that one is sort of like the parallel to Young Frankenstein, which is what Mel Brooks and...
Yeah. Okay, wait a minute. I know the Bride of the Frankenstein, but I didn't know about the Son of Frankenstein.
Yeah,
How
man.
How that relate though? Yeah.
So the Son of Frankenstein, what happens is, Frankenstein and Bride of Frankenstein. You have the original Frankenstein doctor who's like hit the repercussions of his studies or whatever, and then he's run out of town and I believe burnt. Right? Don't they burn him to death? And then so Son of Frankenstein, Frankenstein's son comes back to reclaim the castle. But the villagers don't want no Frankenstein in the town. But it turns out that Frankenstein's like henchman, Igor, is still living in the castle and scaring people and stuff. The Son of Frankenstein comes, befriends Igor, gets in the castle and starts to read up on his father's work and resurrects the monster.
So
Basil Rathbone.
The Frankenstein isn't the father though, right?
Frankenstein's the father. Okay, so Frankenstein is the man.
Oh.
Frankenstein's monster is the monster. But we could call it Frankenstein because what other name is he going to take? Jeffrey?
So what did the Frankenstein slept with the bride? Then they had a son?
No. The Son of Frankenstein is the son of the doctor who created the Frankenstein's monster.
Dr. Frankenstein.
Yes.
Son.
So it's Dr. Frankenstein's son who comes back.
Oh, so okay, Frankenstein, the doctor, not the
monster.
Okay.
Yeah. Because the bride rejects... Not spoilers for a 75-year-old movie or however old it is, but it rejects the monster. She doesn't think he's attractive. She's like, man, I'd rather sleep with Brad Pitt or something. She's not interested in the fucking Frankenstein's. Poor Frankie, he just wants to have a little nookie and camaraderie. They don't like that. You know what was a very controversial scene is when Frankenstein throws the little girl into the water.
Oh, in the pond?
Yeah, in the first one. People had never seen anything like that. And Boris Karloff...
I thought the Frankenstein monster was nice to that girl.
He was at first, and then he didn't... So what the scene represents is that Frankenstein sees her throwing stuff on the water, the flowers and stuff, right? The petals. And he thinks that the same way it's fun, so he throws her in thinking she'll float, but she doesn't. She drowns because she can't swim.
I don't remember that part.
Oh yeah, it's really and Boris Karloff almost didn't want to do that scene. He thought it was too far.
Oh.
And
Did
James,
he remove it in some
there was some scene, prints and things where they took that out, but it was restored in the television versions. Oh. And I think Boris Karloff was wrong. It's really it shows a lot about the monster and its psyche, and it didn't want to kill.
Because monster doesn't have a feeling, right? They just do his thing.
Well, it's learning feelings as it goes. It starts to learn friendship. Remember the famous scene in the second one in Bride of Frankenstein when he meets the blind man and they smoke cigars together and things like that.
Yeah. Well, I remember the Young Frankenstein, that scene more than original.
Me too.
Yeah, Gene Hackman.
Yeah.
So, friend. He's a friend. He's like, oh, good, smoke good, all that stuff. So, I mean, I think Frankenstein's such a sad character. And then later on, they just made him sort of a
I
bumbling...
didn't like the Coppola, the Kenneth Branagh remake.
With De Niro and stuff. Yeah, I didn't like that one. I don't know.
All the big remakes, I didn't like Dracula much.
I like Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula, but mostly because the production's design and Gary Oldman are out of this world.
Right.
Keanu Reeves was a mistake.
Oh, yeah, Keanu.
But I love Keanu Reeves, but in that movie, why couldn't they just get a British actor? Instead of him going, hey, I'm British. What the fuck, man?
And then the Mummy was totally, action movie.
The Brandon Fraser Mummy.
Yes. And then Tom Cruise Mummy was garbage. Right?
Oh, my goodness. I usually am a Tom Cruise apologist. He needs to apologize to us for that movie. That's how fucking bad it was. It's so bad.
That was terrible, yeah.
Here, what else we got here? Oh, the Wolfman, obviously, that's amazing. You got Frankenstein meets the Wolfman. That's a great one. There's so many great... I love the team-ups. People start to say that it declines when you get to, House of Frankenstein, when it's, all of them are in it. Dracula, the Wolfman. House of Frankenstein was, kind of the first... Well, actually... Frankenstein meets the Wolfman was like the first monster
Right,
mashup because
yeah.
that was the first time that two of those famous characters got together. And
I still remember the fight in the castle.
yes, I love the end of that movie.
Yeah.
They're, like, fighting in the castle and they're going nuts. And
Right.
and then House of Frankenstein was one where they all got together. House of Dracula was another one where they're all in it and they're whatever. But that leads us to an amazing movie, which I don't know if you're going to be a fan of because you don't like goofy comedy, but Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein.
Oh, God, no.
You don't like that?
No.
That's one of the greatest comedies ever.
Well, I'm not really comedy fan, so...
But the thing about Abbott and Costello Meets Frankenstein is that they take the monsters seriously, and there are scary parts. And say what you will about Abbott and Costello being goofs, there's great scenes in there. And Bela Lugosi returns to be Dracula since the first time since 1931. You don't like it?
No. I don't even remember much, so I just...
I think if you rewatched it with the eye for, because it wasn't meant to be all comedy. It was meant to be like one of those movies with just these two bumbling idiots as the stars. And I think that there's some really, especially the climax when they're getting chased through the castle and Frankenstein's breaking through walls and the Wolfman and Dracula are beating the shit out of each other. It's so good. It's so good.
You like Young Frankenstein? That's a comedy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but it's a straight comedy, doesn't mixed up, serious and then comedy, or just like everything, everybody, sci-fi and then comedy. I just don't like combining.
Right. You don't like the combination. So, Frankenstein's probably the number one, like, just the class. I mean, one of the greatest movies ever made. Bride of Frankenstein, one of the greatest movies ever made. But I heard that, what?
The Sting's remake. Oh my God. The Jennifer Beals.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was weird. That was a strange choice.
Yeah.
But, one of my prized possessions is a signed picture of Boris Karloff as an autograph.
What?
Yeah, Liz Shack got me. I'll show it to you. Liz Shack got me for one of my birthdays or Christmas. I forgot what exact holiday it was.
Well, how did you get it? I mean, you did.
She found it online, and it came with an authentication certificate and all sorts of stuff.
Is that the real signature? I mean, he didn't sign in front of you, though, right?
No. It's so it comes with an authentication certificate where experts authenticate it, and they give you a certificate that says it's real. And there's
But
many.
how do you know this certificate is real?
There's many factors that go into it, and don't knock my dreams down, Yuki. This
sorry. No, I'm just generally speaking. I don't like shopping. Internet.
I smelled the picture because I want to smell the essence of Boris Karloff.
Okay.
And maybe take some into my body, so I could be as 1/10 the great man that he was.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Another one, a couple that aren't on here.
Yeah.
Which I'm kind of sad about, but I bought an additional DVD of them. A great double feature if you're ever interested around the Halloween season is The Black Cat.
Oh.
Which is the first time that Boris Karloff and Bela Lugosi got together. The Black Cat is so ahead of its time. And it's odd because usually these movies have like castles and old architecture and stuff. The Black Cat has modern architecture for the time. So it was like modern 1930s German or Austrian something architecture.
Right.
And it's the first time on screen that Satanism was ever shown.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So not to spoil anything, but I'm going to spoil it because also this movie came out in 1932. Bela Lugosi comes back to this homestead for revenge for something. We don't know why. And Bela Lugosi comes back for revenge. And Boris Karloff is like this strange, enigmatic, dark, weird guy, and it turns out that he leads a satanic cult down in his basement.
I don't remember exactly, but I remember as a film noir, not a horror movie.
There was another Black Cat from 1941 or something.
Is that the one I saw then? That was a
maybe because Bela Lugosi's also in that one. I haven't seen the Black Cat 1941.
Oh, maybe.
But it might be. It might be a noir.
Yeah.
Or more noirish.
The noir.
Then they did another team up. Karloff and Lugosi. They did The Raven.
Oh.
Have you seen The Raven?
Not the original one. I saw the remake, but I don't know it's a remake. There's another movie called The Raven with John Cusack.
No, not that one. Okay. So, obviously, this one has Bela Lugosi and Boris Karloff, and Boris Karloff is like a transient and sort of a hobo, drunk, and Bela Lugosi is like this doctor, and for some reason, I don't remember the exact reason, but he tries to fix Boris Karloff's face, and he disfigures him, and he makes him like really fucked up and ugly, and so Boris Karloff goes for revenge. And there's an amazing scene at the end with one of those pendulums swinging. Yeah! It's so good. It's so good. I highly recommend that as a double feature, and each one of them are only like an hour and 10 minutes or less. You know, they didn't overstay their welcome. Not like today where you have to sit through 3.5 hours for 1 hour of good movie.
Those things are great.
Yeah.
Where you tie it and then... I mean, I've seen something but don't remember except that scene, you know? Maybe that's the movie I saw then. No.
Yeah. Well,
I was a kid.
It was based on Poe, so they may have written that in because he did The Pit and the Pendulum, and they, of course, made that through the Roger Corman movies.
Right. Oh, maybe I got them mixed up then,
Yeah, Roger Corman did it. Who else did it? Full Moon Features, actually, Stuart Gordon did A Pit and the Pendulum that's really good.
Oh, yeah?
With Jeffrey Combs from the 90s, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But that's all such classic stuff. I mean, these movies, honestly, they make me feel good. They just make me feel good when I watch them. There's something about the fact that movies made so long ago can still move you.
Right.
And still be, like, interesting and scary and thought-provoking. There's a lot of ideas. Like, I think sometimes modern horror throws out the thought for the, I don't know, the gore and the kitsch.
Yeah, too much, I don't know, gore, more blood, or, you know, the special effect, or... It's just too much. Sometimes those the way filmmaking is over the top. You know, it's more than just a story or character. So if I pick one, the Creature from the Black
Lagoon, and that had 2 sequels.
Right,
and that
Return of Creature.
Yeah, Return of the Creature and The Creature Walks Among Us.
Oh.
And that was the last of the classic Universal horror movies, was The Creature Walks Among Us.
I heard that they tried to do remake, but I don't know, they could screw up.
Somebody famous was trying to get it off the ground. I don't remember who. James Cameron?
Cameron?
Maybe not him. Somebody like that size of a person and couldn't get it off the ground for some reason.
Yeah, but he wanted to do remake of Fantastic Voyage, but never happened.
I think that would be a fucking awesome remake.
Right? Because it's today...
Yeah.
Let's see if the patient, if he has an AIDS or something, and then it's scary go in the body, right? I mean,
the immune system is
HIV
compromised,
and then you know it's like a monster.
Holy shit!
So I was hoping somebody do. Maybe we should do it.
That's a good idea. What I remember when I was a kid and I saw that movie, I didn't know what it was, and it just all of a sudden that scene where the white blood cells are attacking the red blood cells, they're attacking the virus.
Right.
I was blown
away. But
what
if HIV, the virus is attacking people? I mean, that could be a scary monster horror movie.
Yeah, or the person could have like 7 different things. He could have COVID. He could have, and they have to go through the body and do the different missions.
Right.
You know, he's like colon cancer, and then they work their way up. Yeah.
That's more scary, yeah.
Oh, forget it.
Then that we have a reason to remake, you know?
I think a Fantastic Voyage remake in the hands of a James Cameron would be unfucking real.
He should forget about Avatar 3, 4, 5, and he should make...
Or take a break. You know, you got Avatar 2. It's one of the biggest movies ever made. Do Fantastic Voyage for fun, and then do the rest. You know, stop. Let's get... You know what is a real sad thing that didn't get to come to fruition is at the Mountains of Madness, which is a H.P. Lovecraft story.
Oh.
Great. But Guillermo del Toro wanted to do it. Amazing director. And James Cameron wanted to produce it.
Yeah.
And Tom Cruise wanted to star.
Right.
But it couldn't happen because the whatever studio said we can't have it be rated R. Are we that fucked up that 3 of the greatest filmmakers in the history of cinema cannot get a movie off the ground because language? You
Stupid.
Fuck it. What the fuck is wrong with people? So those asshole executives were like, we need to have it for the children.
Yeah, those new generation running a studio.
Yeah,
they don't know what to make. They're just a bunch of businessmen and then attorneys.
They probably never even seen The Invisible Man or any of this shit. They fucking watched Hope Floats.
Yeah.
Or some fucking Matthew McConaughey, even though I like Matthew McConaughey, he made some bad rom-coms. Yeah. And that's all that these motherfuckers know.
It's terrible.
Isn't that garbage?
The new people are destroying the industry.
I have a feeling that a lot of people that work in the industry hate movies, barely like movies, and haven't seen anything pre-1980.
No.
Even worse, pre-1990.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, and look, I'm sorry, we love movies. And how could you ever reject anything just because it's old? That's an idiotic mindset, right?
It's just a new generation.
Yeah.
Just running the business now,
But I'm sure that there's people throughout all time in Hollywood who just were they're in it for the money. They don't give a fuck about taking chances. They just want to make a sure guarantee.
Right.
So it can't be R. It has to be PG-13. But you have a trifecta of the greatest filmmakers. Yeah. Why would... I don't know. I don't get it.
I don't like even the streaming thing. You
don't like streaming?
No, because, they're showing the movie theater and then streaming on TV at the same time. What kind of bullshit is that?
I don't know, Yuki. Well, okay, when you were a kid and you experienced shock theater, when was it on? Like Saturday?
Saturday night, like 11:30 midnight.
Oh, cool.
So I have to beg my parents, and can they stay up tonight? Because, I was a kid. The bedtime is like 8 or 9.
Yeah. And you got to watch those glorious first run. Oh, my God. And so... did they do marathons, or would it just be one? Or
just a TV show, like every Saturday.
But it would just be like 1 or 2 movies, or just one?
Just one.
Oh, just one at a time?
That was like I think it was 1 hour show.
Just an hour? So they cut the movies down?
Probably cut the movies.
Oh, well, all right. But there was a horror host?
There's no host.
No host? It was just like, shock theater.
Shock theater, yeah.
That's really cool. I really wish that I could have experienced some of that. Because, I don't know, there's something about being an actual monster kid that's really interesting to me. Growing up with all those monster movies and coming out.
So, I still have it. I bought those Frankenstein plastic, figure.
Yeah.
And then Creature from Black Lagoon.
Yeah. You said that Jack in the Box, right?
Yeah.
They had a line of Universal monsters that they put out, and you got some. I have the Wolfman and Creature from the Black Lagoon in my room.
Oh, I have a Frankenstein, Dracula, and then Mummy.
That's so cool. I wish I had gotten all of them.
Oh, I will next time show you. It's nice.
Hell
it's
yeah.
It's really collector's. It's not the great figure, but it's a collection, from the Jack in the Box.
You know what else is interesting on here is Dracula, right? There's a Spanish version of Dracula that they shot. They would shoot regular Dracula during the day, Todd Browning.
Yeah.
Then at night, a Spanish director would come in with a whole different cast for a Spanish language, and they would use the same sets.
Wow.
That's so cool.
It's so cool. And some people say that the Spanish version is superior.
Oh, really?
Because the Todd Browning one is very it's like a play. But they said that the Spanish version has more camera movement and uses different angles that, elevates the material. So, I don't know. I haven't watched the Spanish version yet.
It's in there?
Yeah, it's in here as a special feature. But, okay, which character is your favorite? Which character do you relate to the most?
I don't remember the human character.
No, not the human. Fuck the humans. Let them all die. I'm talking about which monster.
Are you? I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, then my favorite is always Wolfman, and then
me too.
Yeah,
Wolfman is a perfect metaphor for human life. It's like you have that inner beast inside of you, and sometimes that inner beast could represent, I don't know, dreams that you never let out, or anger, or love, or something, and it's the inner beast that forces itself out sometimes.
And then transformation is even great back then. They didn't have a great special makeup back then, but so it's great.
It was just sitting and changing the makeup slightly, and it took 10 hours or something crazy like that for that, and it's just dissolve until finally he's the Wolfman. It's amazing. It's so good. And I mean, I really do think that like The Howling and American Werewolf in London are also incredible, but there's just something so pure about that first transformation. I love it.
It's better. I mean, because new technology is good, but I still like old-fashioned way.
Yeah, I like the old-fashioned way. And I also feel like, I don't know, just some of the old-fashioned dialogue, it's more clever because they had to get around certain censors things. And even though today they plow through the censors or they just release it unrated or whatever, they had to be clever and say things without saying them. Like, how sex or violence, very, very interesting. And I think shutting that part of your brain off is really, I don't know, affected some things. It's not as clever as it used to be. Look at us, two old men saying nothing's good anymore. Oh man. So all right, Yuki. So what do you think? You gonna buy this Universal Horror package?
I mean, it's nice, but I don't know. It's just too many DVD, and then I'm just try not to buy stuff anymore. Like I'm trying to get rid of stuff.
Oh, you're trying to get rid of stuff. Well, if you have any Universal stuff that you want to get rid of, I'm the man.
Okay.
I got money that I could give you. I mean, it's not a lot, but I could give you $14. All right, everybody. This was another amazing episode of Yuki and John's Podcast Buffet.
All right.
Tell us your favorite Universal monsters. I mean, we didn't really get too in depth because we're just trying to do a primer of this stuff. But
Invisible Man.
Yeah,
there was a TV series, right?
Oh, I don't know. Was there an Invisible Man TV series?
That I remember more than the movie.
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember the TV series. I know there was like 3 or 4 movies.
Really, I kind of. Vaguely remember I was watching every week, and then is David McCallum was in there?
Oh, I don't know. That's crazy. I don't remember a TV series.
Yeah, I saw the. I mean, I could be wrong, but could be a part of the shock. But I thought that was a TV series in there.
If there's not, you should make one and design it. And the Invisible Man. With a G, M-A-N-G, the Invisible Man.
Yeah. Did you like Hollow Man?
Hollow Man, it was all right. It was, I mean, it was fun to see Kevin Bacon's penis, but other than that, I don't know. Elizabeth Shue, she's all right. I feel like Paul Verhoeven has done better work.
Oh.
I feel like Showgirls was better.
How about there's another one a couple of years ago, Invisible Man?
That one I liked. I thought it was pretty fucking good. And there was a really huge surprise in that movie that I had no idea was coming. And when it happened, I said, okay, now we're cooking. Now this is good. Because they utilized the Invisible Man in a way that I haven't seen before. I mean, I haven't seen every single Invisible Man movie, but there was one shocking scene. And I said, oh, yes, now they're doing something cool. Yeah. What about the Chevy Chase movie? It was directed by John Carpenter. Memoirs of an Invisible Man.
Oh, I didn't like it. I think too comical.
You hate comedy. Yeah. You just don't want to laugh. All right, Yuki, that's another podcast buffet. Okay. This has been amazing. Everybody go check out the Universal Monster movies because
it's great.
Shock Theater, Son of Shock. I'm trying to keep track on Letterboxd of all the Shock Theater movies I've watched. Some of them probably trash, but who cares?
Have you seen all of them? Or?
No, I still haven't seen all the ones on this box, so I still have a bunch to go, but I'm ready. I mean, this is the gift that keeps on giving. I don't know. Sometimes after everybody's asleep, I turn on a movie and I sit there and I go...
You watch a movie in the middle of the night?
Yeah, I mean, so I have a strange sleeping schedule when I'm not working. I go to sleep at 5 or 6 in the morning, and then I wake up at like, I don't know, 1, 2, sometimes later.
You watch like all night?
Yeah, when I'm not working, so I'll get up and, do my thing at like 1 p.m. That'll be my breakfast time, and then I'll hang out. I'll maybe write. I'll edit.
Yeah.
And then I'll fucking watch a movie at midnight.
How many you watch? Like 5, 6 a movie a day?
No, God, no. Sometimes, yeah, absolutely, but not every day. I mean, maybe a movie a day, 2 movies a day. But a lot of times because some people when they work, like, so when I edit, for instance. Some people put on in the background a radio show or a podcast or something. I put on movies in the background or TV shows. So I put on a Universal Monster and let it just play. And sometimes I don't even watch it. I just work and it's on.
Then you're hearing it.
I look up. I say, oh, look at this scene or something like that. Same thing I put on. The one that I was editing a lot of the podcast buffet and the Patreon buffet to was Star Trek The Next Generation. I would just let that show play on in the background.
Oh, wow.
And I think I watched 2 full episodes, but I went through like 6 seasons of it just because it's on and it's something in the background like white noise, so I can look up and And I used to do that with these, but then I stopped doing that because I would sit and go, I just missed the whole one I want to actually watch. So then I actually watch these when I have time. Like the month of October, I'd love to do every single day watch a couple of horror movies, and a lot of them are these. So, yeah. But, when I'm not working, are you kidding me? I can sit all day and watch. I can watch 12, 15 movies a day, depending on their length.
That's not easy to do. Like,
it's easy for me. I love it. Sit there.
How can you see so many? I mean, I could see 3, 4 movie, maybe 5, but I can't see more than 6.
I mean, look, I'm exaggerating too. I also like get up, I eat, I go walk around, whatever. But if I had my way, every single day, I would sit down and watch 4 or 5 movies easy. Wow. I love it. It's so good. And then I would do other things, but I don't have children. If I had children, I probably wouldn't watch a fucking single thing. I'd be watching Peppa Pig or some garbage.
Yeah.
Although I would introduce my children to the horror movies very early. The easy ones, not the Texas Chainsaw Massacres, but I might show them, I don't know, the Frankenstein or something.
I mean, I was a kid when I was watching.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. These are made for children. I mean, in my opinion. Anyway, that's another buffet. Yay! We love you. Thank you so much for your support. We're going to keep doing this. And, you can find Yuki at Tokyo Cowboy Yuki. Yes. You can find me at Bad Techno on the Instagram and Twitter. You can also find me at badtechno.com. But also, you can find us at the Patreon buffet. Yuki and John's Patreon.
John and the Yuki.
All right, Yuki.
Thank you, yes.
Yuki and John's Patreon buffet.